to the Light and Love podcast. My name's Leanne.
I'm Lindsay.
And we're very nervous.
Very nervous. I'm extremely nervous right now. But it's okay.
Yeah. We're finally doing this. We've been thinking about this for months.
Like easily since November, October.
Yeah.
This is bad.
And then we were sitting at Dunkin' one morning doing a Bible study, and we were like, let's just do it.
Yeah, we just need to do it.
And so we came up with the podcast name, which is Light and Love Podcast. I think because we think it's cute because it's we're Lindsay and Leanne, so the L kind of play on.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think it describes our friendship to a T.
Literally.
So I think it's the perfect name.
I know. She's literally a radiating beam of sunshine. I swear. If you ever talk to her in person, she just glows. So it's perfect for her with the light. And we're both just, I feel we're both just very loving people, you know? So that's, I don't know. I think it's perfect for us.
I think it's a great name.
Yeah.
And then we bought the stuff that night.
I literally have videos of her being I'm just gonna buy it. I'm literally just gonna buy it. So she went on Amazon and just bought all this stuff for us.
Everything that we needed. And then I watched 20 YouTube videos on how to do everything.
Yes, it was crazy. A lot of praying over this as well. A lot of praying. Literally had to hit up a prayer before we hit record because we were so nervous. Oh my gosh. Now we just spent the past week setting it up, and we have our little setup here in Leanne's room.
I think it's cute.
I think it's adorable. I love it. So yeah. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be super fun. So today we just wanted to give a little introduction to who we are and kind of our testimonies, because this is a Christian podcast. So we're going to talk about Jesus a lot. And we love to talk about Jesus. That's literally almost all we do. We just talk about Jesus.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy.
Especially when we're together.
Yes. The amount of times we went to Dunkin' because I would have a break in between classes because we're both in college. Mm-hmm. So we would go to Dunkin' and we would just sit there and do a Bible study and just talk about Jesus. It was kind of crazy. So this is where it kind of all rooted into making a podcast, because we just talk about Jesus all the time. So yeah. Today we're just gonna do a little, share our testimonies, and I'm gonna get started with mine, and then she'll tell hers. So,
which is crazy because we've never even heard each other talk.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her testimony in full,
which is crazy, honestly.
We've been friends for 4 years?
Yes.
I've never actually heard the full thing.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe we should say our story, how we became friends. This is kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh! Actually,
let's just start there.
Okay. So I had just moved to a brand new school and was so nervous. And I think it was my mom talked me into doing basketball. And I had played at my previous school. I'm not a very good player, but I did play. But we were in the locker room one day, and I had this keychain, and it held a hand sanitizer thing. And it said, it had the psalm. It was a psalm, right?
Yeah,
and it was,
I think so. Something about faith, hope, and love, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought it was the she will not, God is within her, she will not.
Oh, I think you did say that. I don't even remember.
And she complimented my keychain, and she was like, I have the same one, it's so cute. And my reaction to it, I think you told me your reaction about how, what was it, it was crazy that you had the same one or something like that.
I don't even remember.
I remember thinking that it made so much sense that she was a Christian and she knew Jesus, because she was just the sweetest person ever, truly. And then I don't even remember what happened after that. I feel we sat together on the bus.
But that was during softball. Remember, because we barely talked during the rest of the basketball season, and then softball we started talking, and I remember we sat together on the bus. And I specifically remember texting my mom, being can we have a sleepover? I just met this girl, I really want to, have a sleepover with her. And I think we had the sleepover then. And then ever since then, we were just close. And we, fell off sometimes, but we won't talk about that. And then this year is when Leanne, literally, after a break, a big break up between us, we weren't talking at all, she came over to my house to go swimming. And I remember sitting in the pool, and she was just like, I wanted to go to church. And I was like, come to my church. So then she started coming, and then ever since then, we've both just, like, started talking about faith. We go to the same church.
Yep.
And
which is a huge part of my testimony, by the way.
Yeah, the church.
Yeah, and, like, you invited me to it.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so should we just get the testimonies now? Okay, we'll just go into testimonies now. So mine's kind of long. Like, I don't want to say, like, all of it. Like, I'll just leave the specific details out.
Yeah,
But,
don't name drop.
Yeah, we're not gonna name drop on this podcast.
As funny as that would be.
Dude. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, back during COVID, it was like prime COVID. Like, it just started, and we were going into quarantine. And I honestly don't even remember what made me be like, I want to figure out like this Jesus stuff. Like, I remember just being in a really low spot, and I was going through a lot, like, relationship wise, like, no name dropping, but I was going through a lot, and I didn't have many friends, so I was in a really low spot, and I was obsessed with TikTok, still am to this day. But I remember scrolling on TikTok, and I saw this one girl's video about making a clubhouse for Christ, which was basically just like a group chat with a bunch of like Christian girls in it, the one that I wanted to be in, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to join. So I remember like praying about it, because I grew up in the church, so I like had a background of praying and stuff like that, but like I was just never like into it. But I remember talking to God about it and be like, if I'm like, I guess I wasn't even at that point really talking to God, I was just kind of talking out loud. I was like, if I'm meant to join this, like, I need a sign. Like, I just need something to show me like I'm meant to do this. So, long story short, I ended up getting a shower, and I was just thinking about it the whole time. Like, I could not stop thinking about it in the shower. And as soon as I got out of the shower, I got this message from a guy who was in the Clubhouse for Christ already, who, like, signed up for it, because there was, like, guy sections and girl sections, and I think there might have been mixed ones. I'm not really sure. It was a while ago. But one of these guys, like, messaged me through Instagram, DM'd me, and was like, hey, are you joining the Clubhouse for Christ? I'm joining, and, like, I saw you were following them. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I'm still friends with the guy to this day, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
That's so cute.
No name dropping, but, like, we've been, like, kind of friends, like, this whole time. Like, never really, like, close,
mm-hmm.
but, like, we still talk. And, he told me that he saw, like, me through the Instagram followers, and I was like, you don't actually understand, like, what you just did for me. Like, I'm, like, joining now because of you. So, from that point on, I did join, and I got really into it. I ended up, like, making up my own TikTok account and like spreading the gospel through there. I met a bunch of people. I made a bunch of different like groups and did Bible studies with people. I got involved in my church, went to youth group, and that whole year I was pretty into it. And then I was a freshman in freshman in high school at that point. And after that, I kind of fell off like really hard. I had a lot of people like make fun of me about my faith, like, to the point where they were sending my videos, like, in group chats and making fun of me, which was crazy. But, so it kind of just all got to me, and high school got to me, and I just really fell out of it. And then my senior year was pretty rough. It was a rough time, and I went through a lot with people that made me realize, like, this isn't how I'm supposed to be living. And I started to like slowly get into it, but really just could not get into it. And then a couple months ago, I had something pretty major happen to me, and I just went like full force. Like, my mom told me this thing, and it's Made for More, and we're actually gonna make like an episode about it. And I have it tattooed on me, like a cross with flowers, and it says Made for More, and my favorite verse is Romans 8:18. So all of that like was just a good reminder that like God's never left me, but like I kind of like let him go. So since then I've been getting really into it again, and I kind of feel on fire for Jesus again, which is super awesome. And it's really nice having godly friendships that help me as well. And yeah, it's kind of my testimony. I don't know, just sum it up again. Yeah, I don't know, I think that's pretty much it. It was a long, like, it's a span of 4 years, so it's kind of hard to describe it because there wasn't just like one point where I was like I was super into it during COVID, but then it just like I fell out of it, and then these past couple months I've just been getting super into it again. So it's kind of like confusing.
Which is like a normal struggle. Like I feel like a lot of people think that like once people kind of get into their faith, like they're always in it. Like no. Like I've gotten into my faith and I've like struggled even just the past couple months. It's rough.
It's super hard, and like anyone who tells you like it's perfect, or if you're like looking at people and being like, oh my gosh, they're so holy, like they're so perfect, like I bet you they don't go through anything, they're like you're lying to yourself. Like it is hard, but it's so worth it. Like it is so worth it. The amount of joy. Like, I feel like when I'm super into it and, like, I have a really good day, like, reading my Bible, like, talking to people, like, I feel so good. Like, it's insane. So it's definitely worth it. Like, 100%. But it is hard. It definitely is. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my testimony. What's yours?
Okay, mine's, like, pretty short and, like, I feel like simple, but, so, I didn't grow up in the church. I grew up in a house that didn't really, like, it was kind of obvious that we, like, believed in God, even though it was kind of, like, unspoken. But we never went to church, really, growing up. We went, like, a couple times to a church down the road, but then COVID happened, and we didn't go back afterwards. But I have, like, a lot of my dad's family members are like very religious, but like so like I've talked to them about it, and actually someone that's been very helpful in like my walk and everything was my uncle, who a couple years ago when we visited him in when he was living in Nevada, he gave us these bracelets that had the verse John 3:16 on them.
Aww.
And so that was like, that kind of piqued my interest, and I actually didn't even realize it until just now that that's kind of when I started thinking about like Christianity and like just like God and the faith and everything like that. And then my journey really started about a year ago. I was in San Antonio, Texas, which for anyone that does not know, I am in the Air Force, and San Antonio, Texas, Joint Base Lackland, is where the Air Force does their basic training, which isn't hard per se, but I mean, there's definitely struggles that people have. And I remember it was the first Sunday that we were there, and we all went to church, and they have, I think they called it like the Contemporary Protestant service, and we just walked in. You could hear the music from outside the auditorium, and we were walking in, and we were literally like, is that our service? Like, that's what we're walking into? And it was me and like, I think like 4 of my best friends in like basic training, and we went in, and like just the atmosphere in that room was like incredible. Like everyone was literally dancing, like everyone was standing up and like dancing, everyone had their arms around each other, and we were like the first weekers, so we were in like our PT gear, like our athletic wear, while everyone else was in uniform, so like they all knew that we were the new ones, but like they just turned around, they showed us like hearts, like they put hearts up, and they were like basically just like, you're welcome. Like, oh my gosh, it was the sweetest thing ever. And we cried. We like bawled our eyes out. It was like just the sweetest thing. And I feel like it was just like, that was the first time that I feel like I felt God's presence.
Yeah.
And that was like every Sunday now.
Really?
So we went to church every Sunday. And it always felt like the message was literally directly to us.
Can
like,
I tell you something about that? That's actually so funny, because I remember your sister sent me like a text, because I couldn't like figure out, I don't know, long story short, like I didn't end up like sending her a letter, but Michaela, her sister, texted me and was like, Leanne wants you to know that like she just went to church and she loves it, and like she like feel like she's feeling like super into it or something like that. And I was like, that's so cool.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I ever told you that, but she literally texted me and she was like,
I was wondering, because I wrote it in the letter.
Yeah.
Because I was telling my parents about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I feel like you should tell Lindsay this, because I thought you'd like
Yeah, no, she literally texted me. I think she actually sent me a picture of the letter or something like that. But I was like, that's so cool. Like, I was so happy for her. But go ahead, continue.
No, that's awesome. And then, so that was like our Sunday ritual. We would go to church, and then normally like our MTIs, like our instructors, like they weren't there like all day, so we would just like sit on the beds and we took notes during like each service and stuff, and then we would just like talk about it. Like I would like ask questions to like my one friend who's like really, she like grew up with it, and we would just like talk about it. And then I got to tech school, which was a little harder than basic for me because I got really homesick.
Yeah.
And I think it was just because like you had your phone, but you weren't allowed to like, so like you could see what you were missing almost.
Yeah.
Like you could talk to people back home, but like you weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
So I got really depressed, kind of. Like I don't want to make jokes about it because obviously like I wasn't.
It's real, yeah.
Yeah, but like all my friends are like I would never go out. Like they had to drag me out of my room. But that's when I ordered my first Bible, and when I started doing like I did like readings, and I would like watch online services and listen to podcasts and stuff like that. And then yeah, I feel like that's. And then I got back from tech school and stuff like that, and I kind of fell out of it. I would do my online like services, like I would watch like my uncle's services or like the Elevations worship services, which are so good, and like read my Bible and stuff, but then I would kind of get out of it. And then we hung out, and that's when you invited me to church for the first time, and oh my gosh.
Love our church.
I loved
Absolutely
it
love it
so much. I
know.
literally love it so much.
I know. I love our church. It's awesome.
It really is. And then, so that got me really back into it. And then, I started going with you in, like, June, July-ish?
I was going to say, because when did we go to that concert?
Oh, yeah, we went to Brandon Lake's concert.
And Phil Wickham.
And Phil Wickham, the Summer Worship Nights in August, which was so amazing.
Yeah, so then probably was, because you were going to church for, like, at least a month, I would think, before that. And
then in September, I got baptized.
Yes! Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
Which was so fun. Which was not planned at all.
Literally.
Like,
I was so thrown off when she, like, I just saw she was going into the, like, what is it, like, the tub? I don't know what they call it. Because we, like, the one that we, like, those people who were getting baptized, it was literally just, like, big tub, like, on the floor.
And they were, like, everyone was, like, pre-registered. So, like, they showed up to church in, like, their shirts and everything like that. I showed up in, like, this cute outfit with, like, my hair curled and everything like that. And I left looking like a drowned rat.
Oh, my gosh. I had to run out to my car to get clothes for her because she just didn't have clothes. No, that was actually crazy because I was, like, with two of my other, like, people who got baptized that day. I was, like, overstanding with them. And then my dad just, like, looked at me. He's like, Leanne's getting baptized. I was like, what? Leanne's getting baptized? And I, like, ran over to her and I gave her a hug. And she ended up getting baptized. But it was so cool.
Well, because I remember I was sitting in between you and your mom during, like, the pre-thing when, like, Pastor was talking. And he said something like, if you want to do it today and, like, you didn't pre-register, like, don't worry about it. And, like, your mom, like, squeezed my shoulder or something.
Oh, I do remember that. Oh
and then we were watching, like, everyone do it. It was, like, so last minute. Last minute. I was just, like, I don't know. I just felt something, like, I felt the need and, like, want to do it. Yeah. And, like, I started, like, crying. I looked at your mom and I was like, I think I want to do it. Yeah. And she was like, oh, my God.
Love my mom.
That was the cutest thing ever. She was like, and she like took me over to like Nana, and Nana was like, oh my gosh, she was over the moon. She's like, you have to go find like da. So like
my grandmother is very into her face, so like she's very emotional whenever things like that happen. She was sobbing like the whole service. It was so funny. I love her. Love Nana G.
But yeah, and then after that, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I remember going back to work and like one of my coworkers asked like what I did, and I was like, actually I got baptized this weekend.
And
he was like so happy
good.
for me. Yeah.
I felt amazing. I got baptized like that the summer that I started getting into it. Or no, I think it was actually the fall after I think I got into it. I don't even know. But I got baptized in a lake, and it was like one of the coolest feelings ever. Like you just come up and you feel like clean. Like you feel fresh, like a new start. I don't know, but I actually, like, that night then when I got baptized, I felt, like, really upset. Like, I don't know if you got this, but, like, I got, like, really upset, And I think it was truly this, like, the devil trying to mess with me and be like, oh, you didn't, like, nothing, you didn't do anything, like, you didn't get baptized, like, what are you talking about, like, you're still a sinner, like, hello. But no, after that, though, like, once I, like, rebuked the devil, like, get out of my life, like, this was such a cool thing, like, you just feel amazing, like, I felt amazing.
No, I was so happy.
Week. Yeah.
I literally came home, and I think, like, my parents had gone out shopping or something like that, and I was, like, calling my dad to, like, tell him and everything, and I kind of wished that they were there. Like, obviously, I wish that they were there, but it was such last minute. Like, I didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I remember, like, I texted, like, my uncle to tell him about it, and he was so happy. And then I saw your mom posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I had, like, all of my, like, my grandfather and, like, my grandma were, like, texting me.
I think some people commented on the Facebook, too, because my mom was like, who is this? That's funny. Oh my gosh, I love that though. That's actually so funny. But yeah, I mean, yeah, those are like both of our stories. So now we're just trying to keep getting into it, like every day, because it's an everyday task. Like it's not just like a snap your fingers. Like it's something you have to work at consistently. Like there's days,
and it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, even just the past couple of weeks, we were just talking the other day. It's like I want to read my Bible, and it's just like. I just don't. Like, I literally opened it the other day, and I read, like, 2 sentences, and I don't know, I just couldn't get into it, really.
And, like, you get, like, filled with doubt, too. Like, I remember, I don't know if I sent you a video. I think I sent you a video of me, like, crying, because I felt, like, so unworthy to be talking, because I was, like, I should not be the one talking when I can't even, like, read my Bible some days, but, like, the whole purpose of us starting this podcast is to, like, show our journey with it, because not only is it hard getting into it, like, young, because, I mean, we're college students, like, we're in the prime time when everyone's out, like, partying and throwing their life, like, I'm not trying to be rude, but, like, throwing their life away, like, I don't know, like, and we're trying to get into our faith, and it comes with a lot of backlash and doubting and feeling like you should be doing the same thing that the world's doing, but it's, like, the exact opposite. Like, we want this so bad. Like, I want a relationship with Jesus so bad. And, like, I know I have one, but, like, I just want, like, every day, like, I want deeper. Like, I want to go deeper with God. Like, I want to, you know, that's why we started this podcast, just to show the journey of it, too, so, yeah.
And I think it's great for, like, people to have, like, I love listening to Christian podcasts. Like, we were just talking about, like, our favorite ones, and I feel like it would be great to have, like, a younger perspective and kind of, like, we're very new in our faith. Yeah. And I feel like that's a great perspective to have when just, like, coming to an audience like this.
Yeah. So. Because I know there's so many people out there who probably, like, want to get started but almost see, like, I don't know how to, like, say it, but, like the holy aspect of it, like, people are so, like, these people who are, like, so into their faith are, like, so high, and, like, you feel like you can't get there, but, like, I feel like for us, like, we're there, but not fully there yet, so, like, showing people, like, the journey of it, because, like, we want to do, like, Bible studies on this, and talk about, like, some heavy topics and hard questions, because it's stuff that we rack each other's brains with literally every day. Like, there's so many times where we just, like, send each other, like, what do you think about this? Like, what's your opinion on this? Because it's hard. Like, you have so many questions about it, and it's so nice to be able to, like, hear other people's opinions about it, like, turn to the Bible about it, too. So, yeah.
So this podcast is going to be a lot of us just yapping.
Yeah, literally. Just yapping, Bible studies, trying to figure out things that we don't know, that you guys don't know, like, but I'm super excited.
One thing I did want to mention earlier, because I think it goes along with, like, our testimonies and stuff. We were talking about this earlier, like, maybe last week or a couple days ago, about, like, how our faith has changed us. Yeah. Like, for example, I feel like I'm so much happier, like, all the time with, like, now that I have, like, Jesus in my life, because I'm always, like, we were saying the other day, like, we don't want to get up early, but, like, how blessed are we to have something to get up for?
Yes.
Like, how blessed am I to actually be able to go to school and get an education, like, as much as I complain about it sometimes.
Yeah, I know. No, that's literally, I think I said that, I was like, I do not want to go to college today, but how blessed am I that I can drive all the way to college, get an education, like, be able to get a good job, like, out of college, so... But yeah, and like the whole gossiping thing too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you just get like the ick now.
Yes.
Like when something doesn't feel right, or like you sin, you're like, oh, like that's not.
No, literally.
That's not it. Yeah, it's
like,
actually crazy.
Don't get me wrong. It's a daily struggle to like do certain things. I feel like people, like we said before, think that, or like they'll use the excuse like, oh, you're Christian, like you're not supposed to do A or B.
Yeah.
But, and it's not that like we don't want to. It's like hard sometimes. Like,
yeah.
But I feel like you're getting closer and like deeper in your faith, excuse me, when you sin or do something bad and then you feel guilty.
Like
afterwards.
automatically get convicted. Yeah. Like automatically.
Literally, God clocked me with that one.
I know, literally, instantly. We were just like, I mean, this is a whole other topic that we could talk about in an episode, but literally like about reading, like reading certain books, like instantly. The second I thought like, maybe this isn't what I should be doing, literally talked to Leanne about it, clocked me instantly, like instantly convicted. I was like, I should not be doing this. Like, I'm trying to live a life for Christ. Like, your life changes automatically. Like, I don't care what anyone says. The moment you decide to like give your life to Jesus, like surrender to Him and like, you know, repent for your sins and like get baptized, like all that good stuff. Like, the second you start to do that, like your life changes instantly. Like, I can notice a change from like me in the summer versus like me when I started to get into it like this fall. Like, I already noticed a change in myself. Like you can notice it right away. So I think it's really cool. Yeah. And I think you'll see that over our podcast too.
Yeah.
Like, as we're getting more into it, I think you'll see like the changes from this episode to like an episode 10 down the road, you know what I mean?
But yeah, it's crazy to see even just like me noticing it. Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing is like maybe I know it's important for people to see like the outside changes, but I feel like obviously the inside and like what your mind thinks is like an amazing change. Like, for me, we talked about like judging people. Yeah. Like, when people around me are like, how do I word this? Don't want to name drop. Or like when someone's like going through a rough time even, and like maybe they lash out on you or something, and you want to be like, oh, they're such a rude person, like this, that, and the third. But really, like, they're just going through something. And like, who doesn't go through stuff and maybe lash out on the wrong person, like me? I mean, I get snippy with like my parents sometimes. I go off on my siblings sometimes, but like I feel terrible afterwards, and I feel like God's like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's that like instant conviction now. It's crazy. But it's super cool, and I'm super excited to see where this goes. I'm like,
so excited.
We're so excited about this. I hope you guys are excited. Yeah. Like, I hope people who actually watch this whole video are so excited because we're so excited. I don't know, I'm thrilled. I think this is gonna be awesome. But yeah, I think that's it for our testimonies.
Yeah.
So our plan is to like post at least once a week. Yeah. Like, we have a bunch of different ideas rolling through our heads, but we originally thought like post every Monday. And, like, maybe if we want, throw in, like, a Bible study in there. And maybe eventually do, like, live podcasts. Like, I think that would be super cool. Yeah. And we have a TikTok account. We will have an Instagram account. Yeah. And, obviously, these are posted on YouTube and Spotify. So, make sure to check out our TikTok and Instagram as well. It's the same, Light and Love. Gotta keep it all the same. But I think that's all. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you come back for the next episode.
Yes, please come back. Please.